Hello everyone, today we are back for another review, which is the one from Ratael. I just get back from my holidays and I wanted to run this video on the Tuesday like I do usually. So today we are going to watch Ratael tower, and I'm going to try to help him boost his tower to achieve his objective. Quick pause here to say that if you like what you see in the video and you wish to support me, you can go here and in creator code you can enter my creator name, which is Noobodytest, the name of this channel, and this is going to help me tremendously. You can also do that to the Tower web store, where actually things are providing you more value for the same amount of money, and you get extra pack that you don't see in game that are quite good value. So adding me here is also going to support me. Thank you very much, and I carry on with the video. So let's get started. So we have a person that started mid-February 2025, so it's been about 6 months that he's playing the game. He has 13.2 trillions that are LTC, which is pretty good, 3.5k stones, and is actually farming, if I'm not mistaken, into the tier 10, doing about 5,400 wave in tier 10 for 367 billion. So the first thing I can say is I'm a little bit surprised about farming tier 10 for your level. I don't know if you've been trying to do like a tier 9 or even tier 8 recently, and see if you're not making like better coins, because a tier 10 seems quite high for your level, but maybe I'm mistaken. So that's just for you to try. I would recommend that you try tier 9 or tier 8, and potentially having more wave where you are maxed out in all your perks and everything else is going to provide you more coins per hour than in average than you get on tier 10, but you are going to get nerfed a little bit into the number of reroll shards that you are going to get. So that's the trade-off, but I think it's worth at least trying the tier 9. If you see that you get better result on tier 9 than tier 10, then try tier 8, and then if you see that it's worse, then you farm on tier 9. If you see that it's better than tier 9, then you can go back a little bit before. Personally, I was farming on tier 7 and tier 8 for very long time, and I was making tons of coins, even if I was capable of doing tier 10 more than 4,000 wave. So that's something that is worth for you to try. And also, we are going to talk about it a little bit later. You are wishing to switch to a Devo build, and that will be one of the main recommendations that I'm going to give you today. If you are doing a Devo build, you are probably going to nerf your performance on a tier 10. So you potentially need, with a Devo build, to lower them by 1 or 2 tier where you are farming. However, you will still make more coins if you're doing right than in tier 10. So right now you're performing into high platinum, I would say. You visited once the Champion Leagues and you didn't manage to stay. And I see that even after, like, you didn't manage to get back to the Champions League. So let's see what we can do to solidify your position in Champion League and potentially make this your new home. You should be comfortable in Champion Leagues because you are going to be here for a while. It's getting really competitive when you start being in Champions League, so it's going to be make yourself comfortable. You are going to stay here for a while, so that's the goal of this video. Just commenting on this, you say my wall looks pretty useless in tournament. I think the main problem that we currently see with the war or regen build, with the specific module that is regenerating also the shield that you get every time that you get a package, is that this is only viable in farm when you get the perks that will heavily reduce the damage that you take and heavily increase the health regeneration that you get through the perks that you choose, even the trade-off one or the regular one. And when you don't have all of this, then you realize that the regeneration that you get from your wall or from the shield that you get from the wormhole redirector, you see with this passive, it's pretty much meaningless in tournament because you will not be able to sustain the damage that you are taking if you are playing a EHP build or even a hybrid build, and in Platinum you shouldn't play hybrid, you should go EHP. So this is great in farming, such as the war is the same, but in tournament is pretty useless, and is not going to get you way further. Like, it's going to provide you some marginal help, but it's not going to be like game changing to your performance. And that's another reason why sometimes I'm a little bit skeptical about unlocking the wall too early. It's because you are going to invest a lot of resources in something that is pretty much going to give you only a benefit in farm and not so much benefit in tournament, which is not my priority, but that's just the way I like to play the tower. It doesn't mean that it's bad, it's just that that's not the choice that I make for my tower. Oh, and by the way, just so you see, I unlocked the wall, and I'm trying right now to make it work for my tower. So even if I'm bitter with the wall, I'm actually regularly trying to make it work for my tower. So I'm not completely stubborn, I try to make it work. Going on to your workshop, you didn't provide me with the enhancement, or I didn't found them. So I would assume that you have them because you are making trillions of coins, so that would be surprising not to have them. I would say that your absolute priority is to work on health. You want to increase your health on enhancement. I think this is going to be very important for you. And if you want to go further into your economy, health regen. Health is going to help you for both your farm run and your tournament. Health regen is only going to be good for your farm run. Is not going to be useful, as we just talked about, for your tournament. So I will favor health heavily around versus health regen. Regarding the critical chance and critical factor, I see that you have a death wave here that is not like increased a lot in damage. So I don't know what is the damage that you get, like the basic damage that you get here. So I will assume is the same, like 5,000. If it's not, my recommendation is that you do have some damage because you will need to build this death wave to the maximum level in tournament, and this needs to be true for platinum. I don't know if it's true right now, but it needs to be true for platinum, and it will need to be true as well in champions, which is T11 plus, and it's going to be way harder. So you need to start building a little bit those damage so you can build up the death wave health bonus, which is based on damage. And I think with the new mage, now what they have done is really good because it gives you an idea of how the death wave is being built. I'm going to switch to my tower. So you see here, this is the death wave health that is remaining. Every time that there is an enemy that is crashing on this, it's going to reduce the health, and every time that my death wave is pulsing, it's going to add up some health, and this is based on the damage that you see here. So every time that my death wave is pulsing, it had as health almost 3Q, like quadrillion. And every time that an enemy is crashing, is going to reduce the health of my death wave. You see it's now going on to 1.13 quintillion, and is going to reduce the health by the amount of health that the enemy has. So this is for basic enemies, but if you go to here, you see that actually the tank, it has more time, more health, and the bosses obviously has way more health. So one of the trick that I do recommend you use when you want to maximize the death wave is every time that you have a tank that is popping, you need to have the card that is plasma cannon. The plasma cannon, I'm not using it here because I know that I'm well above the things that I need to get the death wave maxed, but plasma cannon is going to reduce the health of the bosses, which is way more, it's actually 20 times more, a little bit more than a regular enemy, by half if it's maxed. And this is going to reduce the amount of health that your death wave is going to be reduced by, because you only have to reduce the remaining health of your bosses. So this is a trick if you want to have your death wave that is staying a little bit longer. So going back to your workshop, you probably want to have a little bit of critical factor and a bit of damage into your workshop enhancement, and you want to start with a reasonable amount of damage. I think 5,000, which is something that is matching the health that you have. It's pretty decent. When we are going to transition to a Devo build, I do recommend that you're following my recommendation on the Devo build. It's something that is not an optimized Devo build, but is nerfing you less for tournament and is allowing you to have more idle playthrough when you are playing through the farm. So that's something that I would recommend, is getting a little bit of damage, especially for this death wave to be working in tournament and in the champion tournament. Regarding your setup of cards, so I reproduce what you tell me into your Excel file, which is basically you have 15 cards, but you didn't have the try one. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's the 15 cards that you have. My recommendation is that potentially at the beginning of a run, you start with cash and free upgrade, and you try second wind and intro sprint that are lock card at the beginning. Then when you get maxed, you can switch those two for slow aura and landmine stun. But what this will allow you is that the first 100 wave that are not providing you any benefit, you are going to go very fast from it. So you're not going to waste some time doing this. This is like a little trick. And then the second wind, if you get killed once, then potentially your run can continue. So that is going to give you also a little bit more of those maximum wave that are providing you so much coins. So that's also something that is going to be nice. But the downside of it is that you need to be there at the end of a run to remove cash and free upgrade and to replace then landmine stun and slow aura if you think that those two are providing you high value. I don't know what is the value that those two are providing you into a blender mode, but if you think that this is something that is manageable, you will probably make a little bit more coins doing what I suggested to you for your farm run. Otherwise, all your card on max, you have 15 slots, so you invested a lot of gems into it. We will see that probably it's detrimental for another aspect of your game, but at least your cards are in a very good place. My recommendation is you should stop working on your cards. Don't unlock a 16th slot. You need to save your gems for the modules that we are going to cover just after. Moving on to your setup for the tournament, so you have all the ones that are above here, and then early you have the cash, the free upgrade, and you are changing it for attack speed and health. That's what I understood. So from these things, I think there is a few things that I wanted to say. So the first one is I believe that super tower is not great and should not be used. On your case, also ultimate crit, I don't think this is reliable. You only have chain lightning that is dealing damage, and when we are going to go back, we'll see that it is quite underdeveloped. So I don't think you're getting a lot of value from ultimate crit right now. Also, because you're still in platinum most of the time, the damage is being really outperformed by the control and by the health. So those two things, I'm not a big fan of it. So what I do recommend is you try by removing this, and we are also going to remove energy net. And instead, what we are going to do is we are going to do recovering package that is going to increase your health and the chance of getting something you're not getting one shot. Slow aura, which is going to reduce the speed and have more control, and extra orb that you're not using. And I think this is very important. One of the things that I like to do with this extra orb is you put them a little bit after the range of your tower, so every time that you bounce an enemy, he has a chance to get hit by the orbs, and it's almost like touching the line but towards the more range of your tower than within your tower range. So that is something that is good. And if you get a little bit of extra orb damage to boss, that is potentially going to help you a little bit with dealing with boss if this is the struggle that you have because you're using energy net. So I think this is, to my point of view, better. And the way I will set it up, it's probably with attack speed and health starting with this so you don't forget it. And then you will, like when this is maxed, you will change it for this. So basically this is remove. You remove those three, and then you add extra orb, and eventually you switch for those things here. Another thing that you can try is you can try to remove enemy balance. That is a possibility, and instead you keep either the ultimate crits. So I went back to your workshop, and something that I didn't realize is actually you don't have enemy levels keep. So if this is like a mistake, then that's completely fine, but you need to unlock enemy levels keep. If you haven't unlocked enemy levels keep, this is like a huge missing out. Like it's super important. It's one of the best stats that you can get from utility. So you really need to unlock enemy levels keep. It's by far one of the best stats that you can do at your level. So I really hope that this is a mistake. If it's not, just unlock enemy levels keep. Going back to what I was mentioning about the percentage. So if the flat reduction is 30%, I don't know for platinum because it's quite new, so I don't know in each each tournament what they put. But let's assume it's like 30%. So 30%. And this actually is true for every tournament. The number are going to be different, but the concept that I'm trying to get through is the same. Like for me, it's 50%. So that's the flat reduction that we get in Legend now. So let's say that to reach you like flat reduction that you get as a perk, you need to have 500 waves worth of free increase and cash put into it to just go and arrive at 30%. So for the first 500 wave, you were in negative ELS, meaning 0. It's not going to like have a negative effect, but you have effectively 0. So you didn't skip any wave. So you're just going to start skipping wave after the wave 500. If you are just going to have 600 wave, every click that you do is 0.05%. So you need 20 click to actually get a full percentage. And even if you get 1%, you only have 100 left wave to go. So with these 20 click, you are only going to skip one wave out of those 100. So basically what it means is that unless you are very quickly above this 30%, ELS for tournament is completely useless. But what it means is that if you manage to get like 30%, like the cap that you have on your tournament quickly, then you have a massive advantage versus the one that don't manage to do so, because now you start getting ELS every time that you increase it. So if you don't manage to get this quickly, then it's not even a thing to invest into ELS within a run of tournament. But then there is a spot where this is shifting, and then potentially it becomes very interesting. But for most of the people, if they have done this right, basically ELS is not going to be a thing. For you, in your case, you should focus on skipping the attack. The health, I don't think is very important. It's going to help a little bit your death wave, but you should especially focus on skipping the attack. If you are planning to go to champion, having a little bit of health skip is going to help with your death wave, especially in champion, but the attack is going to help you in both farm and tournament. So unlock that if it's not done, and get this up. Moving on to the modules. So I see that you use a lot of gems to max the card, so your modules are pretty behind. I do agree with you. I think this is one of the reasons you are staying behind, and with the state of your module right now, it's going to be a massive like burden if you want to carry on. You really need to fix your module, so you need to invest a lot of time and effort into your modules, and I'm going to guide you step by step into this. So from now on, every single gems that you have, you put it on modules. It's like no speed up on labs, no card slot unlocked. You have maxed the card, so you're not going to do the quest because it's going to be automatically completed for you. You need to spend every single gems that you have on modules. This is extremely important in your case. What I see which is good is that the substat that you have are the good ones. So you are using the good substat here. You are using the good substat into your sharp fortitude. Well done for that. It's good that it's legendary. It's going to help you with the wall, which is nice. You are also using the good stat on this one, and you are using the good stat on that one as well. The only thing that I will have to say is that potentially this will have to be switched for a version that is more tournament friendly. And my point is that I don't know if the death wave damage is really needed in platinum. Maybe it's going to be for the champions, but like this is, if you are already maxing out your health with the health bonus from Death Wave, then this is pretty much completely useless. So you will need to have something else and to work on a second set of module that is dedicated for tournament. I have a specific video that is focusing on modules. I don't know if you've seen it. If you did, then that's great. For the people that haven't, I'm just going to put a link now so they can have a look at it. This is very important for you, is that you get an epic galaxy compressor here. Even an epic one is going to vastly outperform what you have here. So you need to have an epic galaxy compressor. This is very important. Then eventually here, the synchronization, you will need to have the Nexus that is synchronizing your ultimate weapon. I have seen, I'm going to talk later on the ultimate weapon, but I've seen that you have a natural synchronization. So this is not that important. I think the synchronization work that you have done is already great, so you don't need to go for the Nexus right now, unless it's actually nerfing the amount of cooldown that you have. What I mean is that it's diminishing it, and it needs to be ancestral for that. So you're very far from it. So here you have a little bit more time, so maybe focusing on a tournament ultimate weapon, that is going to be better. The stat, everything is good, but and this is very good, but you really need to put the gems into it to get to the level that you need. In parallel of that, and this is the transition to the research part, what we need is that we need to start working a little bit more into this part here, which is the module part. So you need to have a little bit more reroll shard, like increasing your reroll shard, the common drop, and the rare drop. This is another one that is very important. Step by step, you can also reduce the module shard cost. Every time that you are increasing this by one level, it's retroactive, which means that if you are putting back your module to level 1 and then you max it, you are going to have the research that is applied retrospectively, but it doesn't apply if you don't go back to level 1. So that's a little bit of things that if you don't know, you may think that this is not working, but it does. You just need to go back to level 1 and then max it again. So if you want to work on your module, you need to start with, to me, rare drop chance. Then in parallel that, common, daily mission, and reroll shard. This is the 4 that you need to work as soon as possible to have your modules into a better place. I don't know if you put me like the research that you are working on, but I see that it's pretty well balanced between damage and health. You have put a little bit more emphasis into health, which is good because you're playing EHP and you need health. There is some low-hanging fruit, such as the old boss eat. This is one that is quite an easy one to max, and actually it's going to help you deal with the bosses. So if bosses are a thing that is holding you back in tournament, then potentially putting a little bit of effort into it is going to help you. If you are reaching level 5, you are removing 1% of the boss health. This is going to help you, I think, a lot. Then the rest, you have the wall. You have invested quite a lot into your wall. Garlic Ton is max. This is good. You're working on coin per kills bonus. Death Wave coin bonus, Golden Tower duration. You are trying to max that. This is very important. Go and max this. I think the Golden Tower bonus is in a good place. You should not work on this. The Death Wave health bonus is also in a good place. You can keep it like that. Black hole damage, black hole coins bonus, if everything is max, this is very good. So overall, I think your research are in a good spot. Like I see also the perks, they are pretty good. The auto pick is probably a little bit low, but the rest is pretty good. So if you are picking automatically your perks here, I think it's good. We're going to talk about perks just after. So yeah, really, I think you should go heavy on the module and really work on the ones that I just explained, because the rest of your account seems to be in a good place. I don't see in the general research, I don't see if you have unlocked the enhancement. And in here, I actually don't see the in utility research. I actually don't see if there is the energy level, enemy level skip that is available. So really, if you haven't unlocked the workshop enhancement, you must unlock it. This is very important. And if you have not unlocked the enemy level skip, you really need to do this right now. And in case you don't know, the workshop enhancement is just a research that you can find in main research. It's here actually, workshop enhancement. There is just one level, and when you do that, you have access to another tab of workshop bonus that you can get. Last but not least, let's talk about ultimate weapon. And so you have 5 ultimate weapon, and I think the major things that we can say is that you have a natural synchronization between the black hole, the golden tower, and the death wave. So you probably have spent a lot of stones just to reach that. Congratulations, you have it. It's good. I don't recommend usually to synchronize the death wave with the 2 others, because I think the amount of stones that you invest to be able to do so, it's probably worth investing them somewhere else and relying on pulling on the modules, that is the multiverse nexus, that is going to achieve the same thing. And if you have it in a good quality, you're not going to suffer any drawdown from it. Because you're so far behind on the modules, I think this is actually good that you have done it. I will recommend that you are not investing more stones into the cooldown, but I think you should go for the low hanging fruits. You should go for the duration of the golden tower. You should go for the duration of the black hole. I think this is going to provide you some value. And then eventually, if you want to spend like a large amount of stones, you can go for the quantity of the death wave. That is going to help you for 2 things. First, your economy, and especially tagging the elites, that is going to help you. But also in tournament where you are not capable of dealing a lot of damage, such as champion, it's going to help you tag more enemies when your death wave is done. So this is potentially something that I would recommend, is to put 1 level in quantity, and then after you go a little bit for the duration. The bonus here, you need to go to the bonus that is at least time 15. I think this is like a reasonable amount. Time 15, it's probably like a good aiming. You can even aim for a little bit more if you want to go further into eco. The duration, this is easy one, like only 46, you get 1 second here, 1 second here. All the easy one that have like low amount of stones, you should click them, because they are going to provide you some value for your eco. When you are in a good place economically, and I think you're not very far from this, you have 2 choices. You can even go like very heavy into eco, or you can go more DPS. If you want to go more DPS and more hybrids, then ultimate weapon, the chain lightning is the way to go. And then you need to have alternative, you need to alternate between chances and damage, and both are very important. If you have 2 low chances, then the damage doesn't matter, and if you have high chances but no damage, then it doesn't really matter. So you need to have both going up, but this is extremely costly. So my recommendation is that you need to solidify a little bit more the eco before you are switching to the damage. If you wish to pull another ultimate weapon, you have 2 choices. The first one is Spotlight and the second one is Chronofield. because you already have 5, if there is 4 that are going to be remaining, and out of the 4 there is 3 that are going to spawn. To me, I think the number 1 priority is chronofield. But if you don't get chronofield, you can go for spotlights. The problem with spotlights is that if you want to have a bonus with spotlights that is meaningful, you need to invest a lot of stones into it. For chronofield, I feel that you get a return on investment that is quicker than spotlight. But both of them, they are heavy in stones, so you need to be ready to invest a lot of stones when you are unlocking the next ultimate weapon. And this is why my recommendation is not to go for another ultimate weapon. You already have a good set, and then instead of unlocking another ultimate weapon, all those stones that you have, you put them into chain lightning versus investing in this last ultimate weapon, the next ultimate weapon. So you start with eco, you strengthen a little bit all the things that are the low-hanging fruits, and then eventually you go heavily on chain lightning. That will help you a lot in tournament in the future when you are switching to hybrid. I want to quickly touch about the perk that you have. I have a video that is dedicated to perk, so I don't know what you mean by icon, but I hope that you are using the one that is a trade-off where you have less health but more coins. I think this is extremely important, so go and watch my video. When I see the perk ban here, I am a little bit worried because I agree that landmine damage is something that is not providing you any benefit. Interest, I don't know what you mean. It's like the gray one, interest. Damage, like absolute defense. I don't understand why you are picking this, banning this, like especially damage. There is things that are way more important to ban, which are the trade-off perk that are actually nerfing you. One of the things that I'm thinking about when you are playing a Devo blender build is the perk that is actually reducing the knockback force. I think this is something that you want to ban. There is also something that is reducing the amount of cash. You get like 0 cash from the wave, but you get like 13 times or 12 times more interest. I think this is like really bad. So if it's the one that you are mentioning here, I'm okay with you. Like this is something that you can ban. But if it's something that is not here, then yeah, you really need to ban the trade-off perk in priority versus like the regular gray one. And when I see landmine damage, I am scared that you are actually talking about the normal perks. So check my video and probably change this into the most obnoxious ones that are actually nerfing your build. And actually, if you want to switch, I'm taking this opportunity to go to the next chapter, which is switching to Devo. So you're actually playing the wall, and right now I am starting a build for the wall Devo. And what is very important into the build of the wall Devo is you need to have a taunt that is high enough to be able to kill the enemies before they get too much stack, because every time that an enemy is hitting you, the next attack is 4% stronger than the previous one, and this is stacking. So here, basically, if you have 100% of taunt, you need 10 attacks per enemy. If you are moving to 14% of taunt, you only need 7 attack if you have a little bit more than 1% of taunt. So increasing taunt is very important as you are playing a Devo build with the wall, especially when you don't have a great CD on your ultimate weapon, and as you just have done everything manually. I think you are like 3 minutes and 20 seconds. You don't have the galaxy compressor, so your CD on your ultimate weapon is not great. That means that you need to stand, like the cooldown as well, like the duration of ultimate weapon is not amazing. So basically you need to survive for 2 minutes and 50 seconds ish before it activates again. So you need to have this wall of stone a little bit higher if you want to move to a Devo build. And the second thing that is going to be important is the wall regen. This is also going to be your survivability, so you need to get the wall regen up. That's the two things that are going to be important. Regarding the rest, I think the wall fortification, this is good. The wall health, this is good. So the rest is pretty okay. I have also a video on Devo. I think everything else is applicable from my build. My build on Devo, I do recommend that you are running 3 attack upgrade at maximum level. High damage, so you don't have to max these 2 things in tournament, and you don't get nerfed too much in tournament. So that's like the Devo build that I do recommend for players. You can check the video, I'm putting a link. I think it's quite applicable for you, and switching to Devo will probably require you to go down like a few tier, but it's going to increase the coin that you are generating, I think, because the whole purpose is you have enemy that are stacking, and then you are killing them only within the window where Death Wave, Golden Tower, and Black Hole are activating together, and they have a massive bonus together because everything is multiplying one to another. So all those tanks that have been stacked, they are killed within this period, and this is providing you a lot of value. I really think you should try to switch to Devo to boost your eco. It's not going to be easy. You're probably not going to manage to do it like on the first go, but that's something that you can potentially do. But before you do that, you need to fix a little bit the perks. So in summary, starting with the good, I think a good effort on your ultimate weapon to have everything synchronized manually. I think this is great, especially regarding the mojo. All good. I explain you what to do. I think you should work a little bit into your eco, and then eventually you can switch to chain lightning. But this is like in a good state. I think the cards are already maxed, so we have talked about it. It's good. What I'm a little bit more worried is on the workshop. If you haven't get the enhancement, and if you don't get enemy level skip, I think this is something that you should prioritize because you are missing out greatly on it. If you have done it and it's just not an information that is available on this Word document, then it's fine. I explain you what to do. But if you haven't, then that's something that needs to be done and treated urgently. The bot, I haven't covered it. You max the range, you have cooldown. I think this is completely okay. Nothing special to say about it. The research, I think, is in a good state. You need to work a little bit on your mojo, but this is on a good state, and this is part of your account that I think is well in order. So nothing to say specifically. On the modules, you are behind, so you need to work on your modules. You need to spend some gems on your modules, so you'll be able to catch up on that. This is a long-term thing, the modules, so this is why I recommend that you are actually starting to work on it not too late when you are starting the game, because you need a lot of time to build those good modules that are going to help you tremendously. So this is, to me, one of the things that are really pulling you down in the tournaments. Finally, I think you should actually work on switching to a Devo build. I explain you how to do that, and this is going to take you a little bit of time, a little bit of gems, but it's going to drastically increase your economy and also increase the amount of sales that you are making with your build. So I think overall is going to be a good switch for you. It takes time, but I think this is going to be like for the best. For people that are interested of this kind of review for themselves, every week when this video is out, usually on the Tuesday, you can leave a comment down below with review and a short description of your tower. And everyone that is doing so, I'm adding them to a massive Excel file. And every time that you register, I'm adding once more your name. And every week I'm pulling something randomly. I'm posting via a post on YouTube, and then I'm pinging the person that has been pulled, and I'm doing a review of one of my sub every week. So if this is something that you're interested, you can leave a comment down below with those instructions, and then eventually you're gonna get pulled, and I'm going to do the review in depth of your tower to try to help you progress within this game. Thanks for watching, and I see you on the next video.